Joe Zekas from YoChicago and New Home Notebook, and I'm sitting here at Ecologic Lofts with Bill Senne. What are you telling buyers today?
We're telling buyers today it's a buying opportunity. There's no question that, in my mind, that we're in a recession. There's no question that the credit markets have tightened, but there also is no question this is a great time to buy because the market will come back. The fundamentals of the real estate market, especially in Chicago, are right. We don't have a huge oversupply, especially in certain neighborhoods. So I would argue that
we do in some neighborhoods.
We do in some neighborhoods, and I would argue the fundamentals are not right in those neighborhoods. I think the South Loop, I've never been a big fan of the South Loop. I think the South Loop is saturated. And I think you could potentially see when the market does come back that those certain segments of the marketplace, certain communities will lag behind other communities coming out of this recession.
I think we've seen that in the past where there's been oversupply. It takes a long time for values to come back in some areas.
Yes.
You're in the West Loop and Bucktown here. Are you in other neighborhoods right now?
Nope, just this West Loop in Bucktown. We have a piece under contract in Hyde Park, which again is another area that I think is a unique area. I look for neighborhoods that have barriers to entry because I don't like a neighborhood where I can have 10 other competitors the next day. And the South Loop, there's so much vacant land down there. It's very easy for someone else to go and get a piece of property entitled, and you have all this competition and oversupply. That's what I love about the West Loop, and that's what I love about Bucktown, and that's what attracted me to Hyde Park. Bucktown, there really isn't any vast vacant property that you could amass and do a 7-story building on. I think we'll probably be the one and only, outside of the Coyote building, will be the tallest building in Bucktown. So that makes your product and the homes that we're delivering unique. And when the market does come back, we're well positioned to take advantage of that.
A lot of buyers are thinking, yeah, this won't dispute this is a great time to buy, but it's going to be a better time to buy 3 months from now.
It may be. It may be. No one knows for sure where the bottom is. Most of the pundits are saying the market could retract another 8 to 10%. But most of those same pundits are saying by the fourth quarter of 2009, the market should come back. So when it does come back, though, those will be the same buyers who will be screaming, "We're priced out of the market. We're priced out of the market." At what point do you pull the trigger? Do you buy? I would argue projects such as Ecologic, you can lock in your pricing today. We're priced at the market today. Someone could go out and do a CMA today. Today's prices, that's exactly where we're at. So let's assume for a minute that prices do retract another 8%. In the time period that it takes us to build this, 2 years out, you have to believe that the market won't appreciate that 8%. And I think that's the risk that buyers should be willing to take.
We talked about crowded areas, oversupply. Obviously, you see a shortage of lofts. A need for a certain type of loft in Bucktown. What other product types are scarce in the market?
Well, in Bucktown particularly, there is, last time I checked on the MLS was probably a month ago, there are 6 new construction 1-bedrooms on the market today in Bucktown.
That's it?
6. There are 14 2-bedrooms. The preponderance of the market, what you see, the Chris Karbowskis in that building are these rental buildings, and they're building 3-bedroom apartments. So all the stuff up and down Damon Avenue, the 4+1s that you see, they're building 3-bedroom apartments. So there's actually a higher percentage of 3 bedrooms on the marketplace, not 1 and 2 bedrooms. And I was amazed when I did my market study for this building. That there was such a shortage of 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, new construction on the market here in Bucktown. And we have a freshman alderman who is anti-development. I don't think it would surprise anybody if I go on record saying that. Given that, the scarcity of land, economic times that we live in, I believe that Ecological will be maybe the only new construction building that gets built in the next 2 to 3 years here. I would go be so bold to say probably the next 4 years, you won't see anything built here on this scale. So if you want the amenities of a mid-rise building, you really have no other choice but Ecologic, and you want to be in Bucktown. Now, if you want to be anywhere else in the city, you have other choices. But I would argue Bucktown, I'm pretty passionate about Bucktown. I would argue it truly is a Chicago neighborhood. It's ethnically diverse. It's gotten a lot more homogeneous the last 5 years, but it's still ethnically diverse, and it's got great restaurants, great shopping, easy to commute to.
Where's the ethnic diversity? Is like in Santa Barbara, where my daughter went to school, they joke about diversity being 60 shades of blonde.
Exactly. No,
Hasn't Bucktown become very homogeneous?
No, you still have the Hispanic population that lives in Bucktown. You still have the ethnic Polish population that have stayed here, through the good times and the bad times. So you still have that, In fact, you go to like St. Mary the Angels School, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed are actually the minority over there. It's actually the Hispanics are probably the most prevalent in that, given that proximity to where the school is over there. So you still have a pretty decent Hispanic population here in Bucktown.
Some people who benefited from gentrification, it sounds like they've stayed and.
Yeah, gentrification's become kind of a bad word. I think we all benefit from from a neighborhood improving itself. There are some cons that come with that, but I think overall the pros outweigh the cons when a neighborhood improves itself.
You live in Bucktown?
I do. I've been
raising your kids here?
Raising my kids here. I moved out briefly when I was building my home. I actually moved into my own development, the Promenade. Took 2 units there and had one daughter there, and then we built the house back here in Bucktown and moved back 7 years ago now. So I was out of the neighborhood for about 2-3 years. But I'm
committed to raising a family in the city.
I am. There was a brief period where I've never lived in the suburbs. So I said to my wife when we started to have kids, I said, let's just try the suburbs. I've never, just kind of like a great experiment. We'll try it for a year. If we don't like it, move back. And that to her would have been the kiss of death. She was raised in downstate, Illinois, and to her that was like, we might as well be moving back to Springfield, Illinois. She just wouldn't have it. I love the city. I love that we can walk to things, and we do walk to things. We walk to the parks all the time. The girls love the parks. And downtown is cab ride away, and I just think there's so much more to do in the city than there is in the suburbs. But having never lived in the suburbs, I can't say for sure.